Hello, everybody, and happy Tuesday. So, I just wrote the today command here. I don't have jury duty. I mentioned this, I actually found out yesterday afternoon. I mentioned it on the stream, but I'm so glad to hear that. Hang on one sec. Okay. I want to make sure the door is open so the cat can come in if she wants to. Yeah, so no jury duty. That's wonderful. And my plan for this checkpoint was on this roadmap down here. So the goal was the end of July. I wanted to add 3 new sub games. We're like kind of wrapping up the top down shooter. I say kind of wrapping up. We're kind of wrapping up the content for it. There's going to be a lot of polish that needs to be done. And we do need to fix that banding, which I don't think I have here. Fix banding on the lighting effect. Maybe just make a custom texture and flicker the energy or range. Hey, Chili. Hey, Leo. No jury duty is great. Yeah. I'm very, very happy about that. Okay, I've tried buying the assets that I wanted to get yesterday. Well, sorry, I wanted to get them yesterday. I tried buying them today, but Itch is down right now. And yeah, down for everyone. Itch.io. It's down for everybody. I already checked this. But like, yeah, there's a lot of reports. So I can't I can't buy them. That doesn't mean I can't just like put in any sprite and then fix it later. So that's what we'll do. Yeah, make a special boss monster. So let's go do that. Boss room. We have what, just a random monster in there? Splitting monster. Yeah, I should make a new boss monster. Hey, Schwartz. All right, well, let's go back to that chat that I had here. Where is it? Okay, here we go. AWS is having server issues again. Yeah, man, there have been more and more reports of issues. I feel like GitHub has been at the center of a lot of them. Not that GitHub is AWS or anything, but just, yeah. It's like software other people rely on is unreliable. All right, so add bossmonster.tscn using o2.png. Actually, do we have any other ones that aren't being used? Yeah, maybe just 00.png. It should have a new script that inherits from base monster. Yeah, base monster.cs, I guess. Okay, yeah, good. Let's do that. Hey, everyone. Hey, Steven, Smack, Wix. Can't be first, but I'm rich. Not anymore. Or not as much anymore. All right, so custom life bar. I don't know what to do about this yet. We like what I was saying yesterday is I kind of want this probably won't even work anymore. Oh no, it does. Okay, good. Yeah, I kind of want to just use like that life bar because I want it to be a continuous bar, not a discrete one. This one has 4 discrete chunks. This one has like 7 maybe. This one has 5. This one, yeah, has these little segments. And I know you can partially take away some of the texture here. Maybe we do that way. But then I probably need to adapt this myself. I don't really feel like doing that. Yeah. New Balance is 210 points. Yeah, you're just over it. All right, so custom sprite we can't do yet. I'll customize all the sprites later, I guess. Let's do this stuff though. Make the boss summon summoners. All right, this is going to be certainly something. So boss monster's been added. Let's go take a look. Boss monster. Yep, cool. It's got all the animations. Nice. Love it. So now in the boss room, let's go instantiate in the boss monster. It's got a script. Nice. Oh, right. And that should be probably somewhere in the middle. Yeah. And actually, I guess the player can enter from wherever. It doesn't matter. And their scale is going to be 2. So I'm thinking they just kind of hang out up at the top and summon monsters. Excuse me. I had to see. Nope. Whoops. Bossmonster.cs. All right, so it's going to be like Summoner Monster. So we keep track of the ones that are living here. Stop moving. Yeah, I'm going to just copy all of this for now. We could extract out proper like summoner logic, but I want to change this anyway. So we don't have a runaway target. We do probably need just a regular position to move to, although there doesn't need to be pathfinding really. Hey, Jesta. Yeah, in fact, yeah, there doesn't need to be pathfinding. And there is no update detected behavior really. It's like they're always detecting the player. In fact, maybe we put that in here. Yeah, all this is kind of coming together. I've got an idea for what I want to do. It's not that hard of an idea. Hey, Shuffleton. All right, so num summons alive and num total summon doesn't really matter. I want this to overwhelm the player. Is that what I wrote down over here? At any given time, the screen should be filled with enemies. The boss should probably have even more life. The boss should be impossible to kill without taking on the summons incredibly easily. Yeah. So let's just delete all that. Let's make a wander position. And we don't need a... Well, we do need a summon cooldown, I guess. Yeah. So how about this? If it's less than 0, then set it to some number that's probably pretty small. I don't know. This is going to be an interesting fight to test. Maybe like that. And then delete this stuff and summon the summoner monster. And then we need to pick a wander cooldown, I guess. Private double wander cooldown. So if wander cooldown is less than or equal to 0, and we need to do this too, minus equal delta, then yeah, just do the same thing up here. All right, I don't think they need to move all that often. Maybe once every like 2 to... Well, actually, it's when they reach their target. In fact, we don't even need to do this. Not yet, at least. So stop moving would do this, I guess. We have them stand around for a couple of seconds. 1.5 to 2.5. Hey, Myth, welcome in. Welcome to the stream. So we're going to set their wander position equal to some chunk in the upper realm of this stage. Actually, it should probably be constrained within about here. So I think we have the base room. Yeah, we do. And I think we have something about the bounds here. Wait, do we? I don't remember what I put in here. Yeah, we have the room. This is private. This is for the sake of doing this. Try enter idle walking state. Maybe that's all they should ever do. They should never detect the player and just randomly walk around. I don't know. Also, I guess the summoner monsters need to be told to detect you. This is protected. I probably need to make this public. Because I want to... Oh, wait, we don't have... Drat. Okay. I think I need to change how this works a little bit. Make it so the summoners auto-detect the player in the boss room. Ideally, we would just return the summon from the function creating them. Nopjar, thanks for the sub. Appreciate it. Yeah, nice. All right, ideally we just return the summon from the function creating them. This would let us clean up the Boolean that I added. Actually, it's not even a Boolean. Where is this? Base monster? Yeah, thank you. Summoner, yeah. All right, so let's just not worry about that yet. But in terms of figuring out where they want to wander to, I guess we need base monster to have the room be protected. Protected, private set. All right, so how do we do this? Base room dot there. Here, yeah, this. Is this... Does this return No, it's a new rect 2 each time. That's fine. Wait. Yeah, that's fine. All right, so grow by like -100, so it's really shrunken inward, and then get just a random position within the bounds. Get random. We don't have a thing for that. Didn't I make an extension method for this? Vector extension. Don't I have a? I could have sworn I have a get point in. Wait, is there like a? Is there a get random point in here? I know I can just make a function for this myself very easily, but I could have sworn I had this already. Abby. Abby. You're meowing outside. Hang on a sec. Abby, come on in. She's just waiting outside the door. You know how to open it. Yeah. You think of my favorite unit in a game, not applicable here though. The priest in Age of Empires, it lets you convert enemy units. Oh yeah, the Wololololo thing or whatever, right? I've only read this online. I haven't ever actually played the game, but I know about that from memes. Yeah, I think there are some really cool ideas for units out there. I think StarCraft had quite a lot of them. And any individual unit is somewhat simple, especially in an RTS, it kind of has to be. It's like cards in a card game. I don't know how Yu-Gi-Oh does it, but at least in something like Hearthstone, each card has no more than 4 lines of pretty short text. So you can understand any individual card in a vacuum. The most confusing ones are ones that have to involve like 2 targets maybe. But yeah, in general, they're understandable. Same thing with StarCraft units. It's like you look at a unit like the Dark Templar, it's like, okay, well, it's invisible. It only attacks ground units. It's high damage, slow attacks, and can merge into an Archon. And it's like, okay, that's it. A lot of these are just properties, not even really behaviors. Like that's a behavior. And in StarCraft 2, they can blink, I guess. But yeah. So I like how those combine. I remember I played a lot of Tiberian Sun. I was never good at the game, really. Like I never played competitively. But there were some really cool ideas in this game. Don't tell me you're a Protoss player. I don't remember which race I like played the most, but I liked all of them. And in a lot of games, I like playing random. Like in Slay the Spire 2, if I ever play multiplayer, I just pick random. And I would probably do that in Smash if you could limit the random pool to like 12 fighters or something. Has entire essays on the cards. Yeah. Hey, Blob. All right. So I know I have this function somewhere. Sample point, maybe? Sample something? Oh, I'm gonna find this. RG-C5 rect2 and then grep-I random. Oh, come on. Where is this? Hi, cat. Hi. Hi. Good cat. Maybe I called it region? Ah, there it is. Get random point. Where are you? And why was this so hard for me to find? Area 2D, not rect. Okay. That's why I couldn't find it. It's rectangular region. All right, well, I want this. And I want to go make a new extension. This is a... Oh, yeah. She's resting her head on my arm now. What a good cat. Okay, I need to at least have access to my keyboard, cat. So let me just move the keyboard. You can stay where you are. All right, so how do we do this? Public static class, and then we put extension, and then we put our function here. Did this get the right? No, it didn't. And then we just write our code that we have. So this is the rectangle.position.x, and this is, yeah, like this, and then just merge it all into one line. Wait, really? It doesn't put it on separate lines for me? Huh, that's strange. All right, well, whatever. And then we just get a random point. Get random point. Then delete this stuff. And then I guess we do a move toward wander position. Well, we don't need a value there. It should just always exist. Yeah, move toward wander position. Oh, it's a wrong vector. I want to ban numerics from my code base. All right, we don't need any of this stuff. Interstate idle. I mean, they're not really idle. I guess it changes their graphic. What else? What else? What else? Just what do we do when you've already made it to your target? I don't know. Let's just see what happens. Yeah, let's just try this out. All right, so I want to start us in the boss room. How do we do that? Let's go to top-down shooter. And when we get to exit room, let's just exit us straight to the boss room. So where is it? Figure out which room comes next. Yeah, I want to just delete this and just return the boss room. Done. Okay, now can I plug in my controller without moving my arm? This is a don't wake the cat mini game. I need to manipulate the cord using just one hand so that I can get to the end of it. There we go. Okay. All right, so we should be in the boss room, and it broke immediately. All right, what happened here? Unable to cast summon monster to... Oh, wait. Interesting. We can only summon as a summoned monster. Create monster. The room has this, I guess. Base room. Create monster. Here it is. Basic chase monster. No. Just base monster. Oh my god. Transposing characters. There. All right, let's try that. Hello? Hello? I guess just speed this up a little bit. Okay, there we go. So yeah, they're going to quickly summon way too many monsters. In fact, let's make myself invincible. Oh, it's too late. And we should probably increase the summoning range. Yeah, they're kind of flipping out when they hit their target. Wait, how'd I kill him so fast? Oh, right, because he doesn't have 50,000 life anymore. Birds. Hey, 9. All right, max life. Let's set it to 100,000. Movement speed can be pretty slow, 20. And then, yeah, we just need to change boss monster.cs so that if they're not close to their position, what are we doing here? Global position, distance to wander position is greater than, I don't know, 5. Then move toward it. Yeah. All right. So the problem is now where they're summoning. So summon monster has this, which apparently picks where we're supposed to create this thing. Yeah, get point within range. I want to change how this is done. So I want to give it the position. So yeah, create monster should just be accessible. Make create monster accessible to summoners. Have it taken a position so that I can change the region in which bosses summon. Why is the boss not appearing in front of or behind these correctly? Does this doesn't have Y sorting on. Why? Huh. Maybe they just never overlapped before? But that should fix that. Let's try it now. All right, so I make myself invincible. We go into this room. Yeah, so that looks a lot better. They're still kind of flipping out when they get close to where they're supposed to be. Yeah, they summon quite a lot of enemies. So this is kind of what I want to have happen here. Not so many. It's definitely summoning too many. But I want roughly this many so that you just keep getting more and more power-ups as you're fighting them. Actually, it could be this many if you're truly invincible. What are we hitting right now? I think it's just summoning new creatures too quickly. Yeah, I don't think you can... Well, you could win this, but it would take a long time. Because even getting all these power-ups... No, I guess as long as they're not going completely out of control with the summons here, you'll eventually just do like 10,000 damage in one hit. But yeah, this is a problem. Now, if we give you a spear attack, the spear attack could attack like everything all at once. But otherwise, yeah, this is as good as you can do. I've probably maxed out on my power-ups now. Also, some of them are out of bounds. Oh, hey, we killed him. We won! We did it! We gotta kill the summoners now. I mean, that should end the game. I didn't code that yet. All right, those are invulnerable. We can't get close enough to kill them. They'll never come back in bounds. Oh, that one we can hit. Wow. All right, so we do need to tone down how much they're summoning. And maybe over the course of the fight, it levels out. So like it starts out with quite a lot of them. I'm not sure. It doesn't really matter too much. So yeah, summoning needs to be at least like 1.5 to 2.5. But I wanted to summon these monsters. Maybe starts with like 3 of them summoned. Maybe only 2. Well, no, it starts out being able to summon immediately. So I guess maybe we just... No, maybe we don't even do anything here. Yeah, let's try that. So yeah, we still have a decent amount of other work to do with this boss. Let me just full screen this. Oh, that is loud. Yeah, weirdly it's not making them flash a different color. I think they're just entering a different animation state immediately after being hit. I think that's our problem. In fact, I wonder if we even need them to move. Because if we just cut that out, there wouldn't be an issue here. So what is move toward doing? It's not changing the state. What is going on here that's causing this to happen? Enter state. Stop moving calls enter idle. Take damage calls hurt. Animation finished. If it was hurt, go back to walking. That's not something that should always be happening here. Hmm. I don't know. I'll just write that down for now. Fix issue where the boss doesn't play its hurt animation for very long. All right, so allow customizing monster damage. The boss should do a ton of damage. And we need to balance stats of all monsters. Okay, good. Auto detect the player. I mean, I guess we don't have to do this. What happens if we just stay at the side of the room? I think eventually you'll get swarmed by enemies because they wander around, right? So if I just stand over here and then let this run at 8x speed, eventually they'll all just pile on top, right? Yeah. And then by then you'll have too many. Wow, yeah. Okay. That's a bit too much. Am I even killing stuff? I am. Yeah. I wonder if we can get it to stop lagging by chunking through all these summoners. Probably not at this point. We probably need that to not happen. Yeah, I think it will stop lagging. I'm kind of curious how long it's going to take. It only really matters if we kill these summoners. Yeah, this is a little bit crazy. I'm actually kind of confused at why it's lagging this badly because it shouldn't be, unless there are like a million enemies off screen, and it looks like there might be. I know there are some on the boundaries of the left and the right, but there must be a ton on the top, and like maybe even more summoners. Oh, okay, bye, cat. I can stop lowering my shoulder. Oh, we're getting to a point where the frame rate's stabilizing. There we go. Yeah, so we do need to limit how many summons there are. And we also probably need to stop them from going out of bounds. If they are out of bounds, maybe we just delete them. Yeah, so now we should have more than enough to be able to kill this thing. Let's get some more potions. It will die eventually. There we go. Actually, you know what would be better than just randomly spawning a portal, which then you could accidentally take, is to make a door appear and you go through the door and the door leads to a portal room. I think that'd be the best. Yeah. All right, so we do need to limit the summons. It may make more sense to make a door appear that leads to a portal room. All right, summon limiting. Let's open up summoner and boss. So what do we care about here? We care about the number of summons alive, and that's it. And let's do everything connected to this. So yeah, we want to make sure that we don't get too crazy with this. If summon cooldown's less than 0 and you haven't summoned at least 10 summoners, maybe. So number of summons alive plus plus. Then down here, we lower this. All right, there, that's it. And then we need to either prevent enemies from going out of bounds or allow them to re-enter the bounds. Enemies push each other, which is what allows this to happen. All right, so yeah. We have some issues here, but I think in general the boss has been created. And then we just got to fix a bunch of little bugs. So let's see what it can be like now if we just go down to the bottom left. So now they'll summon 10 of the summoners. I see 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, And I think that was 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. So now it doesn't summon anymore until I kill one of them. So if I kill this one, for example, yeah, new one gets summoned immediately. Kill another one. New one gets summoned immediately. Now, if I go near them, they'll pop out the little summons. But it should never get laggy. That's what we're testing here. Yeah, it seems fine. And if you start killing them, new ones will pop out. Yeah, so this is what I want this battle to be. Just a complete melee of enemies chasing after you. And you gotta be at the point where you can survive for quite a long time. And then you get more and more of these power-ups. Unfortunately, a lot of them won't really do anything. Like, you'll be maxed out on movement speed and power and defense pretty quickly. But yeah, if you can kill all the summoners, then I can start blasting the boss. And yeah, you can't have 100,000 life. That's a little too crazy. It's taking quite a long time. Yeah, so maybe like 20,000. Once we have a life bar, it'll be more obvious what this should be. Oh, hey, I have this set here. I should not have this set here. Boss monster should just revert. This was 100,020. Yeah, let's set it on the boss monster itself to 20,020. There we go. Hey, Goose. Hey, Pill. All right. Yeah, I think we're looking pretty good. Balance sets of all monsters and like test this out for real. How many runs does it take? To win, and how many minutes does it take to win? And is it fun for that time? I think maybe what we should do, if we can, is make it so that more power-ups drop that you actually need. Or maybe we just prevent power-ups from dropping once they no longer do anything. That might make the most sense. Because what's the point of dropping plus luck if you're already at 100% luck? Yeah. Prevent upgrades from dropping if they wouldn't do anything. So movement speed can cap out, fire rate can cap out, luck can cap out. Defense probably can, I'll put a question mark, but power definitely cannot. So at some point you should just get power potions to make it easier and easier. And then maybe we can have their life be 100,000. Hey, DevZone. All right, so I think I'm going to check this in, even though I just created a bunch of issues. Is this back online yet? Oops, what am I doing? Web server's down. Okay. Where is the thing that I was looking at? Here, yeah. Okay. Yep, looks good. Actually, this could be checked in on its own. Enable Y sorting for monsters. All right, so the rest of this should just be related to getting the boss monster in the game, right? Yeah, this should be deleted. That we now need to check in. Although we might not keep that. Boss monster. I just wrote all this code. Yeah. Boss monster. Yep, cool. Okay. That's good. That, and all of these. Add boss monster. It is a summoner of summoners. It's expected that the player can take on the summons so that they can become much more powerful. I did add some bugs in this commit, which I will eventually address. Yeah, it's just down entirely. Yeah. Hey, Magnus. Day 16. 10000. This is how I'm going to forever know the date now. And binary. Magnus is helping everybody. All right, so make it so the summoners auto-detect the player in the room. Is this a good idea? Before I code this, because it's not just a simple Boolean, I got to refactor some code. Is it a good idea to make it so that if we walk through here, walk into the boss room, that if you're in the corner that the summon... Oh, wait, this is not the boss room. If you're in the corner, the summons chase you no matter what. It doesn't really matter too much, I guess. Although I guess if you did just stand in the corner and shoot up here, yeah, that'd be an issue. Maybe it shouldn't be that they spawn and detect you. Maybe it should be that after like after 10 seconds they just start summoning anyway. Yeah, I think this is gonna be very cool. All right, 20,000 is probably not enough life to give them. I'll need to keep testing things. It might seem like a Monday, but it isn't. Actually, yeah, you should do something special with your name. Some combo bonus when the binary works out to be the proper day of the week, which I guess is only possible on powers of 2 days, right? So if the first is a Friday, or the second is a Thursday, the fourth is a Wednesday, and so on. Hey, Based Code. Welcome in. Welcome in. Thanks for the raid. I like to check out people's Twitch channels when they raid, and I haven't seen their channel before, so let me mute Twitch and click About. Wait a second, Seb. Have I seen you before? No, I have not. Okay. Creating games and software. I've been making games, indie game companies since 2007. A studio called Actuator, developer, business, experimenting with AI. Oh, cool. Yeah, what are you working on now? On Point? I'm not sure what, based on the About section. But yeah, welcome in. Hey, Cody. A game called Not Monsters. Gotcha. Well, yeah, welcome in, everyone. We are working on a game called Stuck in a Broken Tutorial. And I love the idea of this game. So let me give a quick intro. Let's return to the title screen here. I've only been working on this for a little bit, so it is not very polished yet. In fact, actually, I should show off the logo in a little bit. But yeah, so here's the title screen. And you start and you're in your first broken tutorial. So it looks pretty normal to begin with. Press A to jump. You get over to here. Press A in here to double jump. So up until this point, a lot of players are going to be like, oh, this is a platformer, right? It is not a platformer. This is a set piece for the brokenness that is this game. There's going to be a lot of things like this that happen where this would be very unexpected in a regular game. But any of those times that do happen in this game, we need to make it obvious that like we intended for this to happen. So yeah, you falling through the world here, you ending up in this place. You make it into this little chamber here. And you are not welcome. So you get banished into your second broken tutorial. So yeah, now you're inside a farming game. And this one's more story driven. This is like, hey, like, this looks like the start of a farming game. There's some dialogue. I'm just gonna skip through this. There are a lot of actual farming mechanics in here. So like you can dig things up, you can plant seeds, you can water your crops. You will eventually leave this game too and make it into the one that I've been working on lately, which is this top-down shooter. So this, we have less of the world done. I have not composed the music for this yet. But this is a game where it's going to tell you that the upgrades you're getting are temporary, but they're actually permanent. So like across runs, you are getting more powerful without realizing it. But yeah, that's a general overview of this game. You're going to be flitting from game to game, kind of figuring out what the gimmick is, eventually breaking out of that game and going into a new one. And today what we're working on is the boss monster for this game. So I'll just cheat in a bunch of upgrades and we'll run off to the side, which will also make this go faster. All right, we're gonna fill this with some treasure. Then you make it into here, and here's the boss monster I just started working on like an hour ago. So it's just a summoner of summoners. So it summons those little bird things or summon other little bird things, and it's just got a ton of life. So the idea is that as you're killing this, they're all dropping potions. So you just get supremely powerful in this one room, and can eventually take down this thing's like gigantic life pool. So yeah, that's what we are doing today. Is this your own engine? No, this is in Godot. Cool concept, love it. Yeah, I'm a big fan of this idea. There are a lot of nice things about it. One of the nicest things is that a lot of times you get an asset pack and you can't make a full game with it. Like, I'm not an artist. I don't do any of the artwork. So when I get an asset pack, it's like, well, I can make a very limited subset of a game. But for this, we can now tailor sub games to asset packs. Now, excuse me, something in my throat. Hang on. Oh man. So I wanted to show off the logo. Quickie Joe just made what is probably going to be the final logo. There's going to be some touch-ups for the capsule art. Let me see if I can find this really fast. I am very happy with this. So this image is going to have two different logos in it. The one on the right is what I think we're going to use. So let me open this up. But yeah, this one here, let me zoom in. I am very happy with this. I think it looks great. And then the other one, in case you want to see them both. I'm not as big a fan of the colors of this, but I do like the design overall. But yeah, this one just speaks to me. So yeah, this is what we're gonna go with. I'm very happy with this. Hey, Method. Gonna just farm potions and one-shot the boss. I mean, basically that's what's gonna happen. Yeah. Really like the colors that were chosen. Makes it pop. Yeah. To me, okay, so when you think of synthwave, or maybe this is not, yeah. I think of like almost these sorts of colors, and this was not intentional. At least I didn't inject this, but like these colors remind me of this picture, which maybe we should do something about. Maybe I should make a synthwave sub game and like work on music in that style. But anyway, it's just kind of coincidental. But yeah, I think this is pretty cool. Get a good background for it. I was thinking of just a very like subtle background, something almost like what you see happening here with these blocky blue pixels in the back. Like imagine just kind of expanding that outward. Because I don't want it to be too busy, and I already think there's enough going on here between the character and the sort of pixelation and the different fonts and the word broken being broken. Yeah, I'm quite happy with it. So, yeah. All right, so we check this in. Vegas of Summoners auto-detect the player in the boss room. I don't know about this. I don't think you should just be able to stand there in the corner. Maybe every time you attack the boss, it alerts the summoners. It's kind of silly, though. I feel like they should just always know that you're there. The boss knows that you're in the room. Yeah, I think we just do this. All right, so I'm going to refactor our create monster flow. Because, yeah, there is... Whew, this was not the smartest thing that I could have done. This is connected to through a signal here. And the signal can only tell us so much, and then we can't have a return value for it. So I'm going to just change this so that the room can summon the monster. The monster has access to the room, and yeah, we just call it create monster. Okay, so let's do this. Let's make this public. Let's have this return a base monster. And return monster. Cool. So now by doing this, we're going to get rid of all of this code and this code and summon monster. Yeah, so this should be changed to change to calling it on the room directly. The summon monster that we have here as an event should get deleted. This just has a scene path, so I guess we're going to change this to his base room dot create monster. This being the summoner, and then the scene path still being the scene path. So now that gives us a monster out of here. Maybe we should call it summon. Delete this. And then I want to return this from here. And whatever calls this thing now should be changed. So we have a couple of different things that can be modified. For one, we don't need to keep track of... Man, the word boss and base look too similar at a glance. Yeah, so I want this one. The summoner does not need to be passed in anymore. We can just set them here. Yeah, I think I'd rather do this through a function that we have here. Well, I don't know. There's no real point. I'll just make a field. Yeah. All right, it's just going to be totally public. This is only for summon minions. Yeah, so this comment can be changed. We don't even need this to be here now because we have summoned monster, but now even summoners can be summoned. So actually I do, yeah, I do want to keep this like this. All right, so init is going to change. We don't need this here necessarily. When you summon something. So this will give you a monster, base monster, monster equals this. Monster.summoner equals this. Return monster. And actually, now that we've done that, we can make this a private setter. All right. Actually, we don't even possibly need this to exist. This could maybe be protected. Yeah. All right, so now what are we missing here? Well, we need to change this. We don't need to pass in the summoner anymore. We can change this part too. Create monster. This should be renamed as summon monster, I guess. Yeah, so if we do this, this will hopefully work. Actually, we don't have any summoners outside of the boss room. So this is going to be obnoxious to test. Maybe what I'll do is go change the top-down shooter code again, so that when we do figure out which room comes next, we just put this back in. There. So now we go right from the starter room to the boss room, where we'll see the summoners, where hopefully everything still works. The way we're going to test this is by testing the limits of the summon. So we're going to move to the bottom left. Well, that thing detected us, which means that's going to keep just spewing enemies at us, right? All right, nice. I killed it. All right, so we're going to move off to the left. We're going to speed this up by 4x. And we want to see if there are 10 summons. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 2 up at the top that are pretty faint. Yeah, and if I kill any of those, new ones should spawn. All right, so 2 of the bird creatures have detected me, which means that 8 of the small ones can come and attack me, right? But no more than 8. What do we have? 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, and if I kill these, they'll come back. All right, yeah, it looks like everything's working. I mean, other than spawning out of bounds. Yeah. Pretty good. So then auto-detecting the character we can now do through here. We have a detect, set has detected player. This is protected. We want to do this on the summoners from the boss. So I guess let's just make this public for now. And then go change this. So summon monster now returns a base monster. Base monster summon equals this. Summon dot set has detected player. All right, so now there's no way to hide in the corner. If you try hiding in the corner, those summons, the summon, like grand summons, the summons of the summons, will come and attack you. So yeah, I'm just gonna move down here. We are not safe here. Even monsters that have not detected me yet will start off detecting me. So eventually there should be 40 of these little bird things on me. Now, these bird things are really the only thing that can hurt you in this room, because the summoners don't ever chase you. You could walk into them and that would cause them to hurt you, but otherwise, nothing else will hurt you. So yeah, if you ever get swarmed, you just do this. So we probably need to make it so that they're doing at least 1 damage to you. So there's no way to go completely invincible. Which means you'd be able to take 100 hits before you die. I don't know if that's a good idea. Maybe they can do like 0.1 damage to you or something. Because there needs to be some danger. Actually, maybe there doesn't need to be danger. Yeah, maybe there doesn't need to be. But I do feel like we should probably change the life into a floating point number and effectively make it so you could take like 500 hits before you die. Because you have some amount of invincibility. I forgot what I set that to. Where is that? Cooldown, shooting cooldown, invincibility cooldown. Here it is. You have a 1/4 second of invincibility. So if it were just set to 400 hits until you die, that'd be 100 seconds, which is 1 minute and 40 seconds of just straight up shooting and standing around. So probably we need to lower that even more. a minute of just standing around is probably still too much, maybe 30 seconds. So 120 life, or 120 hits, I should say. Yeah, that would probably work. Okay, let's write that down. Just got back from a week-long business trip and I'm exhausted. Oh man. Is your workplace forgiving about this and is like, hey, you can take some time now to yourself? Because I always find it crazy when you've got to travel for business and then just get back to work as usual as soon as you get back. Okay, so in terms of player life, we should probably set it to 120 and require that each monster do at least 1 damage. This way it takes 30 seconds of constant 1 damage hits before you die. Yeah, time to knuckle down and do some work. That was a fun trip. You don't know what you're talking about. Not at all. I just got back home last night and got back to work this morning. Yeah, the craziest thing I've heard was from people who had to travel around the world. Like you're coming from China or from India to the US, and then you're expected to go right back to work on that same day. I never want to do that in my life. Traveling already, just the act of transporting oneself through a plane, that kind of travel, I mean, it just takes so much out of me. I can't imagine landing and being like, all right, time to work. It's just, yeah. Thankfully, I never, I think, had to travel for business. I did 2 times, I think. Yeah. I straight up wouldn't show up at work. Hey, Zoe. Yeah. I would probably push back on the trip overall if I knew that that was an expectation. I mean, like, yeah, I've got limits. This is where I think if, in the sci-fi future where we've got like teleportation, yeah, I probably I wouldn't be as averse to traveling. I think just being in a plane for so long really bothers me. It's not even a fear. It's just it's just uncomfortable. Everything I do on a plane is boring, even if it's fun on the ground. Oh, it's just back up. Okay, cool. Yeah. Hey, Scholar. Day 47 feels like day one of yesterday. It actually does feel like it wasn't that long ago, especially when I look at just this game. Like we started this particular sub game on Monday of last week, and there's been quite a lot of progress in that time. I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, it doesn't look perfect, but it's getting better. And I don't have sounds playing right now, but like it feels more like a game. So yeah, we got a bunch of little bugs to fix, a bunch of behavior things. Like your shirt today, thanks. So yeah, if itch is back up, that means we can go buy this monster pack. Although now I'm streaming, so I don't really want to do it while I'm streaming. But yeah, I want to buy this later today. And then start plumbing in some new monsters. I mean, you can see all the ones we have here. We'll just pick some that seem to fit the behaviors that they have. So like this one could be a berserker monster maybe. And I don't know, one of the more human looking ones could be a summoner, like this one. And then what would they summon? Maybe these little dudes? I don't know, we'll figure it out. My travel need fallen grades. It's a middle of the night trip. And I can neither sleep nor stay awake on the plane. Oh, I didn't realize you lived far apart. No wonder you two say hi to each other in this chat. Because you met up that one time with Unknown, and I just thought, oh, you must all be co-located all the time. But I realize now there was some travel involved. Hey, Regathian, working on a plane isn't too bad now that we can just prompt AI and review results. Well, also, at least the flights I've been on recently seem to have free Wi-Fi or like close enough to free Wi-Fi. Like, oh, you have this phone plan, you get free Wi-Fi or something. That does make it a lot better too. All right, so we've done this. This is finished. This is done. This now needs to change. I'll do that next. Why is it saying it just doesn't need to be protected? Okay, sure. Make it private. I mean, at that point, let's just put it back to what it used to be, right? Which is setting it to an underscore variable. Yeah, there. Now we just go replace the word summoner here with lowercase summoner. Anywhere else that we even do that? Yes, right there. And that should be it. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Go back to this. Hey, Chris. I'm in Serbia and falling graves in Armenia. There isn't a direct flight even. Oh no. Oh no. Can't ever work comfortably on a plane, especially in coach. Yeah, if you're trying to use a regular, like, you have the kind of this position when you're using a laptop, and on a plane you have this position. I once brought this keyboard on a plane with me and connected it to my phone, and even that, typing on it was not very pleasant because the tray tables in front of you are really, really tiny. And it's just not, yeah, it's not the best. All right, this is looking good. Yeah, this is looking good. Yep. I'm glad I refactored this. I think this makes the code cleaner. And I didn't expect it to be this fast to do, or else I probably would have done it originally. There's one other place that we could have changed things, right? Yeah, we'll figure it out. All right, so I just don't want to check in this one file, top-down shooter.cs. Everything else should be fine. Because the only change in here, yeah, that's that. Yep, good, cool. Okay, so refactor, create monster. It's now summon monster. And monsters can call it directly. Before this, they called it through an event, meaning they couldn't get the return value of the function. The reason I did this is so that the boss's summons can immediately detect the player. That way the player can't hide in the corner and shoot the boss without being detected. Or without being attacked, not detected. Let's clean out my airline points anyway, so it'll be a little bit before I fly again. Man, I don't think I ever flew enough where I could really use airline points. And one time I looked into it, like, what can I do with the points that's not flying? And it was like, you can get a magazine subscription. And I don't want a magazine subscription for free. And I certainly don't want to go through the effort of spending my points and then figuring out, like, do I have to cancel a subscription afterward now? All right, so this part's done. Have summon monster, taken a position that I can change the region in which boss is summoned. Or just change how we position this thing. I mean, right now it's done here. I could just alter the position afterward. I think that makes the most sense. Or we just pass in the position. Vector 2 summon position. Yeah, I think that makes the most sense there. Let's do that. Summon position, reset interpolation. Okay, so there are only two places we call summon monster, right? Well, technically only one place, I guess. But now we return the monster. So now we need to pass in the summon position. I kind of want to flip the order of those arguments. I think passing in the scene path first makes more sense. Which means I got to go change this to be string scene path. There. Okay, that reg should be gone. Yeah, so now I need to pass into summon position. This is the boss monster. The boss monster is going to do something different, maybe like 60 pixels away to 80 pixels. I'm just making up numbers right now. And then the other one is going to be whatever we had this set to originally, which I don't remember what that was, 28 to 40, I think. And then we need this extension, and yeah, that all should be fine. Let's make sure I did not break that just now. What did that used to be? Where is the number? 28 to 40, yeah. All right, let's try it. There won't be a monthly ad a magazine. It rolls right off the tongue, though. I didn't say I wouldn't create a magazine. But I do think it'll be a prohibitive subscription price. 400 Twitch Primes per month. Corresponds to the required parameter. Why is... Oh, I didn't realize the splitting one summoned too. Okay. This should use the exact same logic that we had there then. 2840. Yeah. Actually, should it? No, it shouldn't even do that. It should be like 520. Let's try that out. Hey, Zylenix, welcome to the stream. I don't think you have enough badges to chat here. Lego Magazine is free for my son. Doesn't ever read them. Yeah, Lego Magazine sounds like it'd be good. I used to have Nintendo Power Magazine. I loved it. Yeah, I used to love reading these. And I think that was the only magazine I ever got. Or at least regularly. And it's kind of sad it just doesn't exist anymore. And I guess it kind of makes sense in the world of in a like post-internet world. How many people would actually subscribe to a magazine? And I mean, I know magazines still exist, but at least with video games, probably not very many. In fact, actually, are there ongoing video game magazines still? There used to be a bunch back in the day. I don't remember a lot of the names of them. In fact, the other thing I was wondering about is, do they still make strategy guides? Like if I search for Elden Ring strategy guide, is there a physical strategy guide? Official strategy guide volume 1. Is this a physical book? I know Elden Ring isn't the newest game anymore, but official strategy guide. Wow, yeah. 45 euros. What? Is that just expected now? Like, could I search for, what was it? Brady Games? Does it still exist? It does. Guild Wars 2 strategy guide. Wow. Yeah. Oh, interesting. I haven't thought about that in a long time. Magazine related sub game. You have to cancel a subscription. That's a sub game. Yeah. Anyway, hi Athletics. That's just book prices now. Bought 2 D&D books. Yeah. Miss strategy guide aesthetic. By the time I could buy them with my own money, they became a rarity. I remember I had a Diablo 2 strategy guide, and looking back at it now, it's like there was a metagame that was not understood back then. Yeah, like this strategy guide. There was a metagame that wasn't understood, so they'd be like, yeah, put a couple points in this skill and a couple points in this skill. And it's like, okay, yeah, that sounds good, but yeah, I don't know. It doesn't matter. I feel like if you enjoyed reading a strategy guide, it doesn't really matter if it helped you with the strategy of the game. It just needed to be something entertaining. And a lot of them had really, really cool artwork. Or just another way to immerse yourself in the game world. All right, so we want to load up the starter room and instantiate in a few different monsters to make sure this works. So let's get the splitting monster and a summoner and leave it at that. And we'll put them in different sections of the room. So you can go over there and you can go over there. The Prima official strategy guide. It would actually be kind of cool to make a strategy guide. Like with Skeleseller, I produced sheet music and bundled it alongside. I wonder if I should make a strategy guide for this. And it's just wrong. Every single part of it is wrong. It's like, oh, did you know in the top-down shooter, you could actually go up through the top of the world, and we like make custom screenshots and make it look like that's possible. All right, so the reason this isn't working, actually, the reason this isn't working is not obvious. What is going on here that I can't see these enemies? Oh, there might have been an error that I just wasn't even looking at. No, there isn't. There they are. Huh, strange. Okay, so do you still summon? Yes. And are your positions correct? Yeah, it looks pretty good. All right, and what about you? When I kill you, do you burst into 2 other enemies in the right position? Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, cool. Cool. Love it. A full strategy guide for the entire platform. Now, if you hold the A button for 400 milliseconds, you'll go this high. But 401 milliseconds, you'll go slightly higher. There's just 14 pages of that. Oh, an ad's about to start. All right, I'm going to take a quick break. Is it jump time? It's jump time. Okay, hello again, everybody. Close the game. All right, so where we leave off here, yeah, just the positioning of this. I think this is good. Now let's go check this in. So we now pass in the summon position here. This is all fine. Yep, and then we use it. This should not be checked in at all. And this shouldn't be checked in. So we have two things we do not want to check in, and I will just check, or I'll just roll this back. Yeah, so we want to check in these. Is there a way to select 5 of these at once? How do you do this? I guess commit? Yeah, that works. I would expect to just be able to shift click here and get it to check in all of these at once, but it doesn't work that way. So yeah, you have to shift click over here and then right click and go to commit. Yeah, all right. Oh, space works? Oh, nice. I'm gonna write that down. To commit multiple files at a time. Shift plus click them all in the, what is this view called? In the commit view. Then press space or right click and click commit. Commit files is what it actually says. And I want to take a picture of this, but it's like super washed out. I'll just do that. Okay, great. So what do we do here? Allow specifying the positions of summons. Yeah. Now fix issue where the boss doesn't play its hurt animation for very long. If I'm not mistaken, this is coming from this code. So if I turn this off, I think it should work. But I want that on, so I need to figure out how to untangle a state here. So we still have it going directly into the boss room, and now it should flash white every time you hit it. Yeah. All right, so what's this doing? Stop moving. I think stop moving is what's calling this. Yeah. Stop moving calls this enter state idle if it was set to idle walking. Actually, wait a second. We never set its state to idle walking to begin with. Maybe that's my problem. What should set that? Here. Try enter idle walking state. Oh, you even have this idle walking target position. Move toward in physics process if it's idle walking. Okay, so this is going to cause us a problem if we don't do this correctly. So this now needs to be protected. Well, I guess that means let's just encapsulate it as a field. Replacement of the field of the property would introduce struct copying. That's fine. All right, so I think I just want this to be protected entirely. Yeah. So this is going to be what we do over here in the boss monster. And everything should just work. Bounds like a random point. So we don't need this now, I think. We don't need this. We don't need the position set over here. And that's that, right? Let's try it, see how it works. Is it working? Now they're jittering. Why are they jittering? Oh, they don't have move toward being called. But they should because of physics process, right? Yeah. Move toward idle walking position. Strange. Strange. Wander cooldown. I guess stop moving should set it. So it didn't even do a wander cooldown thing? Yeah, this is a mistake. And I never set that. Okay, now I understand what's going on. I never set this back to a different position. All right, so stop moving should say to find a different point. So I guess whenever we're idle, we want to do this. If state, we don't have the state here, do we? No, we don't. What do I want to do then? We could make this state be accessible. Update detected behavior. This is assuming that they've even detected the player. We have, yeah, all right. I guess that's how we'll do this then. We'll just make it so that they detect the player immediately. They already have. So then the update detected behavior, this is already being run every single time. We want to put them into the idle walking state. All right, I'm just gonna make this public for now. I'm not even gonna properly encapsulate this yet. I just want to try something out. If state is equal to idle, then set this stuff. So we don't need wander cooldown anymore. Well, actually, we kind of do. Yeah, and wander cooldown is less than 0. All right, let's try this now. So I've committed a coding sin here. We're going to fix that up at some point. Inconsistent accessibility. Monster state is less accessible than state. Wait, we have monster state here? Well, anyway, should be protected. But that's the sin. So yeah, let's go try this out. So all we should see is proper movement from the enemy now. I'm going to just speed this up to 4x. They are barely moving. No, they're not moving at all. No, they are moving. Are they? I think they're only moving because of the characters pushing them. Yeah, it's kind of funny to see them get pushed by all the other monsters. Huh. Let's take a look at this. So this is idle and the wander cooldown is less than or equal to 0. Then pick a target. Maybe this is just picking a target that's always... No, it doesn't make any sense. Unless the room is only 200 pixels big. Which certainly is possible. But I think it's unlikely. Yeah, we'll find out here. Oh, it's never being called. I guess because they're never in the idle state? What's happening here? Their state is walking. Walking. This is not really correct. Yeah, this is not really correct. This is how this should have worked for chase monsters. All right, well, we have another option here that we could do, which is override physics process. Yeah. I think the proper way of doing this would be this set has detected player. This part should probably only be done when monsters are expected to chase you. which is almost all of the monsters, but it isn't all of them. In fact, I think there's one, what, wandering monster? Does this just never detect the player? No, it's just always walking. That's the thing. Yeah, anything that always walks would have this. Hmm. So do I want to change this? Because in almost every situation, every other monster is going to want this behavior. Basic chase monster. What doesn't inherit from this? That's what I should figure out next. Hey, GLFA, thanks for the raid. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. I hope your stream was good. We are working on a boss monster for the top-down shooter in Stuck in a Broken tutorial. And it's been going pretty well. There are some little things I want to just figure out here. The gimmick of the fight is that the boss is a summoner of summoners. And any of the summons can drop upgrades. So you're expected to get very powerful over the course of the fight. Hey, Claire, welcome in. Yeah, hello, hello. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, it's going to be a pretty chill day of coding. My new thing, IRL, is focus on sleep. I slept very well a couple nights ago, and I was like, oh my God, this is a game changer. It changed everything yesterday. So last night I also went to bed pretty early, and I'm feeling pretty good today. So yeah, I think there's something to this. I love sleep. Yeah, the thing is, I feel like everyone probably enjoys sleeping, but prioritizing it above whatever pre-sleep things that you're doing, like maybe you're playing a game or maybe you're doing a crossword puzzle or something, it's like it's fun to just keep doing that thing, and then you start cutting into your sleep time and you're still functional the next day. And I feel like there's a big difference between functional and optimal. I got 3 hours after 7 a.m. last night. Oh no, what happened? That must be why you got your name. Claire must kill. Claire must kill because Claire lacks sleep. As like I said, I think we need to move this set has detected player so that each subclass does what's necessary. So let's look at our entire base monster tree that we have here. It's the guilt of the kills. Weighing on your conscience. So yeah, what inherits from this? Is there a way to see that? There's got to be a way, right? Find usages. I want to just find things that inherit from this. Basic chase monster. Boss monster. Summoned inherits directly from this. Maybe we should just override this in the boss monster then. That probably makes more sense. Yeah, which means I probably don't want to do this. Yeah, let's just make this virtual. Well, this accesses private state here as detected player. I don't know what I want to do. What we could do is have it call another function. So this part could be public, but then we could have it call this function, which is like set state once it's detected the player. Public virtual void. Set state after upon detecting player. This is kind of weird. And now the boss monster could override this to do nothing. The boss should never enter the walking state. Yeah, this is kind of weird. Insomnia hits sometimes, yeah. Hey, Cyber and Viber. Turns need 6 and 8 hours of sleep. is 16 versus 18 hours of wake time. And if you're more than 18 slash 16% more effective, to get 8 hours, I'd say. Yeah, but that's the problem, right? You can never really measure this. It's all just feelings. Because even if you measured your productivity, you'd have to strongly correlate it to your sleep time per night. Hey, ABC. Hey, Matt. Read and run. Got to pick up the family. Yeah, I was just about to ask, what is family time that's about to happen? But yeah, take care, Gilefe. Thanks for the raid. And thank you. You're right. That's an issue for sure. Yeah, and if you could directly correlate it, then I think even then you'd have a hard time convincing people. Like, I remember saying, I remember asking someone like, hey, what's your favorite candy? And they said something like, I don't really like candy. And I asked why. And they said, I don't feel good after eating it. And I remember thinking, man, if you have a direct cause and effect of this bad thing for you makes you feel bad, then it closes the feedback loop such that you don't want to do that bad thing. Like, that's pretty much what this person said. They don't like it because they didn't like how they felt after eating it. And I started thinking about it. I'm like, do I feel worse after eating low quality food or something? And I realized, like, yeah, I do. Or sometimes I get sleepy, or sometimes I'm whatever, hungry an hour later or something like that. And I'm just not paying attention to it. So I do think there's like a set of behaviors you can do that might be unhealthy, that you either ignore the effects, or you could be told in your face, like, here are the effects, this will happen, and you still ignore them. So yeah, I think even if you told everybody, you shouted it from the mountaintops, like, you need sleep, get sleep, and every single day you hear this, and every single day you're told, like, here's what would happen if you don't get sleep, there are still going to be some people out there who are like, yeah, but it feels good to play video games before going to sleep. And that was me. And maybe I'm turning over a new leaf, and maybe this is some just short-lived fad for now. All right, so can we get this to work now? So they should move around on their own. It looks like they are. And then they should idle again. Yep. And when I hit them, they should flash. Yeah. Good. This is working exactly how I wanted it to. So I think we can fix this. I think as long as we're at it, we might want to make the fire rate increase even more. We did it. Probably killing the boss should delete all the summons too. We should probably kill off all the summons when this happens. I hate sleep and need more sleep, and he's constantly telling me I'm tired because I don't sleep, but I hate to sleep. Why do you hate to sleep? I don't think I met someone who hates to sleep. Unless you have to sleep. All right, so let's go check this in. This is now protected, but in the worst possible way. We should... Wait a second, do I use this? Maybe I don't. No, I do. Yeah, I think it's reasonable to encapsulate a field for this. We don't ever set it, though, outside of this class, so that should work. Look at the rest of this. Here, mostly just so that the boss doesn't have to enter the walking state. It overrides this method to be blank. Excuse me, I had to sneeze. The ideal way of doing this would be that everything overrides this. Well, I'm not going to write anything else there. I think it's fine. Sleep very deeply. Waking up is slow and hard, and I like being awake. Dreams also are generally stressful to me. I've been thinking more and more about like anti-anxiety medication, and everyone I've talked to about this stuff says, oh yeah, there's basically like almost no downsides, no long-term downsides. There are side effects. But it's been making me think, like, do you suffer from anxiety? Do I suffer from anxiety? Like, I think my brain is just constantly active. And there are pros and cons to that. They play the hurt animation correctly. All right, so we don't need this anymore. Changing the wander cooldown. Yeah, that's fine. I think that's all fine. This doesn't need to be checked in. And that was it. That's all we changed. All right, so fix bug with boss monster. They were entering the walking state, which would mess up how the hurt animation played, such that it wouldn't play. I know it's bad for me to not sleep. I just hate to sleep. I wonder what it would take to change that, though. Like, what if you just consistently slept well for a month and tried it out? In fact, it reminds me of. I know you're not here for very long. Let me link you a thing. Where is this video? Give me a sec. It's a comedy sketch. So this is only very vaguely related to what we're talking about here, but I think you'll appreciate it nonetheless. There. Slows your heart rate down. Made a mistake of taking a morning once. Went very pale. Oh yeah, I think there are certainly you can't just take it with no consideration for any health effects, but that I wonder if the average person would benefit from it. Yeah. What if you dream super cool dreams every night? Hey Zoe. You're in two places now. Hey stats. Good day. All right, so what do we do about this? Prevent enemies from going out of bounds or allow them to re-enter the bounds. So here's what's happening here. An enemy, like let's say this is the enemy. If the crate pushes this other crate, it will move no matter what, even if it's going out of bounds. So we need something that would push it back inbounds. So we essentially need to treat the tile map as a static body that cannot move. I wonder if you can do that. Godot treat tile map layer as static body. Y'all never catch me. Yeah, you're gonna move from platform to platform. If I stop dreaming. What if you went the other direction? What if you tried lucid dreaming? So you could just change away from the stressful dreams as you're having them. Tends to phase through and get stuck. Yeah. So I wonder what people say about this. You can add a picture or video. Thanks for the info. You don't find a way to fix this easily. There are two ways I think would work. One would just be put those static bodies everywhere. Two is maybe making a script that returns anything. Yeah. I wonder if there's a built-in way to Godot though. (2D) physics body that can't be moved by external forces. When moved manually, it doesn't affect other bodies in its path. Changing properties on the static body 2D of the enemy doesn't sound like it'll do what you want to the player body. It sounds like what you want is for the player to get bounced away from the enemy on collision. I mean, that's another way I hadn't even thought of. We could just allow enemies to go out of bounds. This is amazing. Yeah, I really like them. And I like their sketches. But there's a particular line in that sketch, which is like, hey, I got you consistent 8 hours of sleep. Just, try that on, see how it feels. So yeah, what if someone could take your body and get you consistent sleep and you'd be like, oh my God, this is amazing. So yeah, I guess I could fix it this way. Let me write this down. So problem is that enemies push other enemies out of bounds, then they can't get back in bounds. And option one would be just disable map collision for enemies. They would just be able to walk right back in bounds. Option two is when an enemy collides with a wall, detect it via code and push them back in. How's progress been? Progress has been pretty good. So we've now got, if I delete this, we've now got different room layouts, which are placeholders for now. I didn't make the rooms. But yeah, the first room is always the starter room. If you died, this will spawn in 2 power-ups per death. So now we'll have 2 power-ups here. And if we die again, we'll speed this up. Yeah, so now we have 4 power-ups. In fact, let's just go with a faster speed. So yeah, starter room doesn't have any danger in it, so you actually can't die in there. But if you die in a different room, it's always got these 4 crates. It's got the doors going to the side. So now we're in room 1. This is variant A. And if I go all the way to the side here, let me power myself up. This is room 2. This is variant C. So if we were to die and come back, we will not see rooms A and C now. I could pick different ones. So that way, it looks like the game is more kind of fleshed out than it is. And we reskin all the enemies. So it looks like we have different enemy logic here, different behavior or something, but not really. And so yeah, here we've got different enemies too. It's room 2B. We'll eventually have different room layouts. And then you get to the treasure room, which for now just has 4 crates. But this will give you some more power-ups right before the boss. And then the boss room, which is a summoner of summoners. So it's going to eventually swarm you with enemies. And you've got to destroy them all to get more power-ups so that you can take on the boss. So yeah, that's where we're at. This is looking pretty good. I just give you big hugs. Blocking these from colliding with each other. You can still detect overlap and have them repel each other. Yeah, I want to think about this some more. I'm actually kind of surprised no one chimed in over here and yeah. Yeah, you know what? I'll ask AI. What does it suggest for this? So the monsters in the top-down shooter collide with each other, which I want. But those collisions can push the monsters out of the tile map layer. Even though there are walls set up. Actually, do they have collision with that? Maybe they don't. They should, though. They don't even have a layer? Why did I do that? Wait, what? Why didn't I give them a layer? I don't think that has anything to do with this. I like the original Boyd's demonstration. It's so pleasing to watch. How do I test this? I guess I just have to go to the boss room, which means I should just skip there. I should probably make a cheat that puts you there directly. All right, so let's just run this for a while. So they should push each other out of bounds. Yeah, they do. Yeah, so I don't think it's a problem with them not having a layer. Also, write this down. Add a cheat to teleport you directly to the boss room. Yeah, anyway. Okay, so even though there are walls set up to prevent that, once out of bounds, they can never come back in due to the walls. How would I prevent this? Yeah, so anyway, without AI answering, I could disable map collision entirely. That's one route. Option 2, when an enemy collides with the wall, detect it, push them back in. Option 3, when an enemy gets pushed out, just delete them. This wouldn't fix the problem. Is that pushing out or spawning on the outside? It should be pushing out. But yeah, actually, it could be spawning on the outside. The reason I say it should be pushing out is because of how I do the summoning, which comes from here. We pass in a position. So for example, here, and we say get point within range. Oh no, yeah, there's nothing stopping this. I had code that's supposed to stop this. Yeah, I think you're right. I think I'm just being a dummy. So there's nothing to cap this in here? Yeah. All right, if get bounds dot has point summon position. I want to get the closest thing within those bounds. Encloses, grow, expand, grow support, returns a support point, or get support. I don't know. What is this? Turns a support point in a given direction. Well, anyway, I guess we just clamp it to the bounds, right? So say summon position equals new vector 2. So I want to set it to the, I want to clamp this. Mathf.clamp the summon positions x to the bounds dot, yeah, like this, basically. And then the same thing over here. Yeah, and we probably want to shrink the bounds a bit. Bounds dot grow -50. Yeah, this might fix this. Hey, Liquidor. Yeah, on the other side. Is there bounds dot clamp? I don't think so. I didn't see something in here for this at least. No, but we should probably add one, so I don't need to keep doing that. All right, let's go back to the boss room. Let's not make this tedious. So top-down shooter. Yeah, I thought they were just pushing them outside. I guess they aren't. Your blue is my brown. All right, so how did we get this to happen the first time around? Is it fixed? I think it's fixed. Collision doesn't really work when it's going this fast. No, they're still going out of bounds somehow. Are they being pushed? No, they're just getting created. I think they're getting created down there. Is it just a problem with thin walls? I think the walls are pretty thick, even though they don't look thick. But yeah, I think I might be messing this up. And I think we should shrink this over here. Yeah, let's try that. Yeah. Let's try this. Is it fixed? No. Still summoning outside. Wonder if they are getting pushed. Out of curiosity, what did this thing say? Had code side containment step that clamps each monster's body back inside the current room. Read existing movement collision shape and compute a conservative body origin clamp inset from its shape bound after every monster movement path. Call a helper like clamp inside move room bounds. Zero that velocity component. What's the source of them spawning? The big guy summons summoners, which summon like grandchild summons. Yeah, is this code ever being hit? Let me make sure. I think we're stopping it from starting out of bounds now. It does look like a spawn issue, yeah. Let me see if this code is being hit. There we go. Okay, so it is clamping. So originally the summon position is 42, 341. And after this, it's 42, 336. So it does get moved. It might not get moved enough. I mean, one other thing we could try is just grow this even more. And see if that fixes it. Yeah. I don't see them going out of bounds anymore. Oh, I killed the boss. I mean, eventually I should stop summoning, right? I think I put a limit here. Pretty sure I put a limit. Hold on a second. They should stop spawning. Yeah, they are, right? Now only one of them. This one has summon still, but everyone else ran out. Look at all those power up. Whoops, kill the summoner. You should run out. How do you still have summons left? Maybe they didn't detect me. But yeah, since only 2 of them are summoning, it must be that way. Right? If I get close enough to all of these. Yeah. This is a different problem. It looks like the original problem is fixed. Are we beating the boss? Oh, yeah. Wait a second, what? Something's still summoning. Oh my god, did the boss go out of bounds? That's what's happening. The red birds are increasing in quantity. Yeah. Look, they're still getting... Where are those coming from? Did I not... I must not have killed the boss. Did I start this through Godot? I could just check the scene. No, I didn't. Well, that's not good. Or the boss is dying and they're still summoning afterward? Let's set the boss monster's life to 2. Boss is cheating. Boss is cheating. What happened, though? So I kill them. They're dead. They're not still summoning, right? No, they're not. So I must have pushed the boss out of bounds? That's not good. That's really not good. So if I speed this up, you eventually just disappear. Maybe it's easier for you to disappear up at the top. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's a collision problem because they can all like stack on top of each other. I don't know how they got out of bounds though. Maybe it was once more of these got summoned, it pushed it out of bounds. Is that possible? Oh, those got pushed out of bounds now too. There's no winning, is there? Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know what I don't know what I did wrong. This isn't correct. This should have been bounds opposition dot y plus this. Okay, that might have been the problem. Although actually, doesn't that just mean we were clamping to an even lower size? Yeah, it should have effectively been the same thing. I don't think that changes anything. Count the units in a radius and avoid spawning until open space. Yeah. Yeah. I'm still just kind of thinking about this. Because yeah, we could stop them from spawning, but then what happens if you just there's no difficulty anymore? Yeah, so they spawned it down here. How did that happen? You could kill anything outside? Yeah, I could. That was another idea. They just disappear. So it's like they never existed. I wonder. Like this should be so in bounds at this point that there shouldn't ever be an issue because we did a dot grow 100, which basically means taking the entire room, which is here, boss room. Take this rectangle, which is this, and then shrink it by 100 pixels in each direction, which probably puts it like here. So now this becomes the effective summoning zone. So even though it's... Wait, is that working? I don't know. Let me just go try this. Let's put a breakpoint here. How are they set up? Is it the position in the corner or center? Or is it in the corner center? It should be at the top left. So this should be 0, 0. Down to something. Let's see. Yeah. 0, 0, 432, 336. So that should be the size of this room. So if I click this and we select from here to the end, so that's 430. What did it say it was? 432, yeah. So I just messed up by 2 pixels. And then 336 in the other direction. And yeah, again, I didn't pick it exactly. It's like here down to here. So yeah, those are the bounds. Those are correct. Then we shrink it by 100 pixels. So I do this. And now... Oh, that returns a new rectangle. Whoops. Okay, I expected Grow to modify the existing one, but it returns a new one. So I was doing nothing. Yeah, I was doing nothing. All right, well, now the problem should be solved. And now they should obviously have contracted inward in terms of where they can summon, even if the summoner's on the border. All right, well, that's a very good thing to have realized. I just assumed from the API. So now, even if we get a summoner down here, which might be difficult, they're always going to summon up at the top. They should move around at some point. Yeah, so like this character, even though they're at the top, you can see their summons are summoning like way down below. So if I just let this run for a while. Yeah, you see they're always coming from that inner rectangle. All right, I think that'll fix the problem. Weird you didn't get a warning from Ryder. Yeah. Once you start working because time zones align. Tragedy. I just stop working. Just move back. Do the summoners summon in the middle too? They should be, yeah, because this is the summon monster thing where everything converges. So all we need to do is probably shrink this by like 20 or 30 pixels. And we'd probably be fine. And then anywhere else I have dot grow is wrong. Because I didn't realize this is how this worked. So yeah, here for example, make sure the point isn't out of bounds. Try entering idle walking state. Yeah, this should have been bounds dot grow -50. So they could have tried walking out of bounds. And then what is this one? This should just be a dot grow -20. And what is this one? This is where to walk. So up until now, they were walking anywhere, which actually worked out totally fine. So maybe we just don't even change this. But I do want to shrink it by a little bit. So yeah, let's do grow -10. All right, so everything should be good. Calling it with an instance, I don't like it. I mean, this is mostly my fault. Maybe you could argue it's like 5% could have been Ryder telling me something, which maybe I just turned off. And 5% Godot not doing something I expected. All right, so if we just let this run for a long time, nothing should go out of bounds. Yeah, and now I need to actually kill some stuff. Yeah, looks pretty good. Yeah, so thank you for pointing that out, stats. I didn't even realize it. That might have been something. Oh, wait, the boss just disappeared. Did I have them set to 2 life again? Where are they at? Yeah, I do have them set to 2 life. Okay, never mind. That's supposed to happen. We need to set them to 20,000, and then they shouldn't just disappear. Power-ups. Okay, now we can probably kill the boss. Yeah. All right, this is pretty good. Pretty good boss fight. Really hard moving at 4x speed getting all of these. There we go. Hi, try something, Dev. And hey, Boolean. It's looking more fun each time I look at it. Yeah, it's feeling more like a complete sub game. So we gotta go check this in. Should be pretty simple, right? Oh, we don't even use the summoner here anymore. Let's just delete that. Well, no, that should be done separately. All right, let's just check in the thing I want to check in first. And then this clamps a vector to a rectangle. I want this to be... well, let's do a couple things after this. So remove summoner from summon monster. It's never used. And make an extension method. Okay, I can type method out of the bounds setting code in summon monster. Hey, Half. Half, I think your name... I think of the why you have to be mad video. This why you have to be mad. If anyone hasn't seen this video, it's 5 seconds long. It's just a game. Oh man. That quote is forever burned into my brain. This shouldn't be this way. Why did this happen? I saved that, didn't I? Oh, it was defined in 2 different places. Okie dokie. All right, so we just don't want to check that in. Everything else should be good. Cool, cool, cool. We learned our new trick, pressing space here. Yeah, nice. All right, so fix enemies summon, or fix enemies getting out of bounds. They were being summoned out of bounds. This was partially because I didn't understand that .grow returned a new rectangle rather than mutating the original one. Yeah. Yeah, they say I used since I was like 6 was suddenly only associated with that video. It's a good association, at least. It's not a bad thing. It's not like if your name was, I don't know. Never mind. Yeah, just fill in the blank. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, this reminds me of Office Space though with Michael Bolton. Why do I have to change? He's the one who sucks. It's like a modern day proverb, yeah. All right, so 2 changes we want to make here. Get rid of the summoner, which means changing all the colors of this. Easy. That was very simple, in fact. Remove unused parameter. What is it you do here? Man, what's his name? John C. McGinley? I've been slowly making it through Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and I made it to some episodes that he was in. I think he's a really talented actor. I still know him the most through Scrubs, not through Office Space. I think he was fantastic on Scrubs. I don't think Scrubs has aged very well. All right, make an extension method out of this. Let's go do that. So we already have the extensions here. I want to do public vector to clamp point. Vector to point. So return the clamp of this point. Whoops, Poindexter. And then bounds turns into the rectangle. Now, technically, if we want to make this more performant, I think we save off the position first. This actually is not calling into... This isn't marshalling to get the vector. Don't nodes work that way? Hold on a second. How does this work? Node 2D has a position, which calls get position, which calls in native code. Rectangles don't work that way. Interesting. So we don't make it more performant by doing that. But if this were a node, we would. This call takes longer than a normal just all-in C# call. But yeah, in rectangle code, that's not true. So I think we're fine. Anyway, now we call clamp point. It's also in Rooster. Is that a new show? 2026. Where do you watch this? HBO? I don't have HBO. It's too bad. Hey, Rose's Adventures. Nice to see you. It has not. Doesn't stop Scrubs from being fantastic, though. I don't know. I feel weird now when I watch some slightly older shows because a lot of the humor was sourced in things that are now, like, I wouldn't even say not politically correct. Just it's like enough of the public consciousness has changed. Like so many jokes in Scrubs come down to sexual orientation and race. And yeah, I don't know. At the time, I feel like I was more ignorant than I am now and just like laughed because I thought they were funny jokes. Now I think there are certain words that if people say on television, I'd be like, oh, what? Like they can't say that. And yeah, I never used to be that way. So yeah, and I can appreciate the humor for the time, and I still watch some shows that I feel have sort of backwards philosophies. Like I like Venture Bros. I recognize that like the showrunners would have done something differently if they produced the show now, but it came out in 2003 and then they had seasons over the course of many, many years. But yeah. And I think that some shows take it to an extreme. Like Community had an episode where Chang was dressed as a drow, like a dark elf. So he had like black face paint on, black body paint. And it was not a like a racism thing, but Netflix took it off the air. And like that I think was an overreaction. All right, so we want to do bounds.clamp point and just pass in the summon position. And this code looks a lot nicer now. And we could actually even make a clamp if needed. In fact, this is unnecessary, right? Well, it's unnecessary unless this is cheaper to do than this. So we could make like a clamp only if necessary. I don't know. I think it's fine. Take care, Chili. Thanks for being here. Brand new Scrubs is so good. I haven't seen it. Never had John leave in the new show. Yeah, I could just clamp. Yeah, so that was the question: is like, is it cheaper to do this? Yeah, I could just do this. Yeah, yeah. Whole it's from the time. I mean, I get it. I think it comes down to does your comfort level change? As one quick example here, there are some violent movies that I think but I won't get too specific. But anyway, okay, so there's some violent movies where they might not bother you now, but you watch them again in like 10 years and they might start to bother you. It's like the movie clearly hasn't changed. It's a movie, it can't change. But you have changed as a person, and how you perceive the value of life or the realism of violence or something might change. So I think it's something like that for me. I can still enjoy some of those shows and be like, I feel a little strange watching it. I feel it's important to view those things as of its time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think there's some inflection point though, where like if something's from 100 years ago, maybe it's easier to brush it away as like, oh, it's for its time. But if something's 20 years ago, you might be like, well, I was alive during that time. I wasn't alive 100 years ago. So wait, where's the new Scrubs then? Scrubs new. Wait, 2026. Oh, I am not thinking of a Scrubs reboot at all. I was thinking of there was like season 9 or something that had a bunch of different characters, right? Yeah, where do you watch this show? Disney Plus? I think I have that as part of a Hulu subscription. Okay, I'll write that down. Yeah. Watch the new Scrubs on Disney Plus. Yeah, second reboot. Yeah, okay. Yeah. And I'll write it down here too, like maybe give it a couple of episodes. Yeah, Tropic Thunder. I rewatched Tropic Thunder I think a year ago. And yeah, I think it holds up. I think you do need to at least know a little bit about the movie going into it, a tiny bit, very tiny bit. Wouldn't continue to talk about people the way people were talked about in the 1920s. Yeah, yeah. I was just discussing something yesterday. Oh yeah, I remember what it was. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. All right, so this is done too. Add a cheat to teleport you directly to the boss room. So we don't have a teleport function. We have an exit room function, and this is called from the room itself. We could probably just call this directly though. But I want to force it to pick the next room. Alternatively, this could just be a cheat you have to press 3 times. Yeah. All right, well here, I'm going to take a break. So here's what I'll do. I'll say dismiss this. I'll make a new chat here and say add a cheat to the top-down shooter that will immediately exit the current room. No, do I care about that? I think I just care about going to the boss room. And go to the boss room instead. Yeah. All right, I don't have any outstanding code, right? Oh, no, I do. Why do I have outstanding code? I didn't check this in. Yeah, okay. I just have these two things. Add extension method to clamp a point. All right, so revert this, and I'll just have this run while I'm on my break. Yeah, I don't even need it to plan. Just run it. All right, I'll be back in just a little bit. Is it jump time? And yeah, hey, Cradle. It's jump time. Hello again. Close the game. All right, so did this add the cheat? I mean, let's just go test it. It looks like it did. So what happens when I go to boss room? Ah, perfect. If I do it again, also perfect. Yeah, pretty neat. All right, I wanted to be the fourth cheat. I don't think it's a very common one to use. Go to boss room. Do you think the boss's parents said go to your room at some point? That's what the boss is like, well, fine, but I'm going to kill every adventurer who comes in here. All right, max life is deleted from you. That's fine. That should be checked in on its own. Remove already default value from scene. All right, what do we have here? Krasner, you missed yesterday. How am I supposed to know to have a nice week? How do I know whether to make it stellar or not? You have one responsibility, Krasner. One responsibility. Good to see you. It's a villain origin story. The villain origin story is playing out in real time right now. Krasner not wishing me a good, nice week. I don't know what to say. I tried my best. I was like, well, what would Krasner want? Probably for me to have a nice week, so I'll try to make it a nice week. So we have a function here from this get next room scene path. Oh, cool. This is a pretty smart way of doing it. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. And then this is defined here. Yeah, so super cool. I remember the dinner. No. Adam's just wandering through the week with no direction whatsoever. Well, you're here now. That's what matters. Let's get this week back on track. Next room number +1. What is this? And what did this used to say? No, we didn't used to have this, right? Yeah, it was just on exit room. Why do we have that next room number in here, though? This part makes sense. What does the cheat do? Oh, the cheat just sets it to 4. We should probably make a constant out of that. Yeah, we should probably make a constant. It could also be an enumeration. This sets what the next room number should be. Yeah, room number equals next room number. Hmm. Thank you, Matt. Thank you for recognizing your responsibility in the matter. All right, so private constant boss room number equals 4. Where, oh, I guess that should be public. This doesn't have to be public. I'm debating on whether to keep this as an integer or not. Should we just make this an enumeration? I think it'd be clearer. Yeah, I think it'd be clearer. But the cheat works. So let's check this in. Yeah. Add cheat to skip to the boss room. All right, so now what do I want to do? I want to change this code, room number. I want to make this an enumeration. And when I say I want AI to do this because this is a waste of my time. So in top-down shooter.cs, change room number to be an enumeration. Yeah. The values of the enumeration should be starter room, room 1, room 2, treasure room, and boss room. And then we need to update the comment. Yeah. Update or like delete the comment of next room if it seems unnecessary after the change. Cool. Hey, Franken. Today has been going pretty well. Having to make some progress on this stuff. So the cheat is done. Next up is like clean up the enumeration for a room number, or rather add an enumeration. Make this, so we just need to give the boss a custom life bar. Yeah, add traps and stuff. The custom life bar, I mean, I guess we can go fetch this thing now. I can download it, and how do we make it clear that it's for the boss? We could, I think we have a couple different options. Option one is put the bar at the top of the screen and say enemy or something. Option two is put it in the world space above the boss itself. So what I'm thinking of is like Castlevania 3. Can we see a picture of this? Yeah. Something like this. Well, this is kind of interesting about the old Castlevania games. This is chopped off at the side for some reason, so it says score and player and enemy. But the enemy life bar would show on the screen at all times, even when there was no boss monster. They have a better picture of this? Why are all these chopped off? Yeah, here. So here's an example. You're just in some random part of the world, and it still has an enemy life bar. So I don't want to do that where it's there all the time. But yeah, you could make it clear that like, oh, here's your life bar and here's the enemy's life bar. Option 3, add at the top of the screen. I mean, that's option 1, right? Put it at the top of the screen. I wasn't suggesting that this would always be visible. You know how much memory it would take to add a flag for that? My guess is that the real problem is that it would look weird with a bunch of blank space at the bottom here. So they just always had it showing. But I don't know if that's true. So which one of these is better? Which do people like more? Because if we do this, then the life bar can't be huge. And I kind of want it to be huge to indicate just how much life the boss has. Wonder if it was referenced the next boss at all times as well. Yeah, I don't know. But I do think they were probably more concerned with the interface than with the code. Because it's pretty intense making an NES game. Option 1. Okay, yeah. Okay, sounds good. And thank you for chiming in. So this should be at the top of the screen. Maybe there's a skull next to it or something to indicate that it's the boss's life bar. Maybe it just appears and fills up to make it clear that it's for the big bad in the room. Yeah. All right, so this should be done. There's no way this could have taken a long time, right? Yep, so that looks good. That's good. Perfect. Great. This is purple just because I have the code running still. We can consolidate all this now too. Figure out next room number. Can't we just do an integer of the room number plus 1? I don't think we need a function for that. Yeah, this seems kind of stupid. Let's just change this. Room number plus 1. Yeah. So figure, whoops. Okay, wait. Someone told me when this happens, so right now Command R is not working, and they said there's a window open potentially, and I need to find out where it is and close it. I don't think I have another window open though. That's a problem. Yeah. It just isn't doing anything. Is there another way to activate that view? Structure? I mean, it's basically the structures what I want to open. Let's just take a look at what Command R is mapped to. Go to by reference actions file member. Can I find that in here somewhere? Navigate. There, yeah, it's grayed out for some reason. Why is it grayed out? Rider, go to, what's it called? or navigate file member. Yeah, I basically can't navigate my code without this. The following. Navigate to files stopped working. I mean, it's not exactly this. Invalidate caches. I know I can just restart the editor. It will definitely fix it. But no one else has complained about this? Does it depend on where your cursor is? I, I don't think so. But either way, if I put it anywhere, like it still doesn't get put back in. If I close all the tabs and go back to top-down shooter, yeah, it's still not working. Looking for a dialog to go to something. Yeah. We have navigate to ... I mean, what if we just click base symbols? Does that like dislodge this? No. I don't get it. I don't get it. Let's ask this. Hang on one sec. In Rider, navigate file member is grayed out. Why does this happen? I have to restart the ID entirely for it to be enabled again, and it's annoying. I hope it looks through a bug report or something and points me to something, because I don't mind if it's a known bug. That's okay, whatever. If it's a state I got into and it's got an easy fix, that's also okay. But if it's not a known bug, that means I got to go do this myself. I do not want to accessing data from other apps. And I got the right name of it, right? Yeah, navigate file member. Yeah, weird. Weird. Oh yeah, it's super helpful. Did you grab the latest rider? I probably don't have the latest one right now, but I had the latest one before this. Yeah, there's a very minor upgrade here. 2026.1 to 2026.1.3. So it's possible it got fixed, but I don't know. Usually means it has no usable code structure model for the active editor. Rider enables it only when the focus editor is a file type with known member, then Rider's code model / backend is ready. You disable while it's indexing, loading, synchronizing the solution, or when focus is in a tool window. If it stays grayed out until you restart, that points a resharper backend getting wedged. Restarting the ID fixes it. Try these before it. Click inside the code editor. Yeah, that didn't work. Check whether Rider's indexing or synchronizing. Is it? I don't see any indication that it is down here. There's usually a status bar at the bottom that would indicate that. What else? Use find action. Search for restart backend. That's not a thing. Resharper. I don't even see that there. Reads often, invalidate caches, then restart. Update Rider. If it still happens, grab logs. Yeah. Well, I guess let's update Rider. Because, yeah, this wasn't helpful. Never had luck with that, working on Jamit. Yeah, I'm not sure what exactly is causing this. Like I said in the past, just restarting the ID fixed it. So now this update is almost certainly going to fix it. But it'll probably happen again in another 4 days or something. And then we'll know it's not due to a lack of updated software. It's too bad. I also didn't expect it to take this long. Otherwise, I would have just held off until after the stream. Did I attribute all these edges to now? I think in some cases that's probably true. I think Rider is just part of a massive suite of software that has a lot of things to do. And even when I was working on Android Studio back in the day, one of the stats that was kind of thrown around is, let's say you have like a 1% chance of a bug happening. Like, okay, that's not too bad, right? Yeah, sure, 1 out of 100 users are going to hit it. But now let's say you have a 1% chance of bug A, bug B, bug C, and so on happening. It's like now the odds of you encountering any bug rise pretty quickly to almost 100%. So now it's like almost everyone's experiencing a paper cut. So these sort of edge cases always kind of existed, and it's just complex software. But yeah, in other cases, I do think it's like, well, people have just increased the amount of vibe coding, and it's probably increasing the failure rate. An issue I couldn't update NuGet packages from private repos. Never fixed. Yeah, if you look at, let's say, like the Claude error or bug tracker, maybe, I think they have a GitHub page for this. I thought they did. Yeah, maybe this. They have like 5,000 plus issues. Yeah, more than 5,000. 8,300 issues and 58,000 closed. I mean, these numbers are impressive. All right, so now I can probably press Command R. It's going to shift focus away. Watch, the cursor will disappear. I don't know where the focus goes, but it's gone. Now I click again, and now Command R works. So yeah, who knows what caused that? But yeah, navigate file member is now fixed. And now I can do what I was trying to do originally, which is figure out which room comes next room number. This is no longer called, right? Yep. So just delete this whole thing. We're just adding one the whole time. Now why is this yellow? Does not access instance data and can be marked static. Sure. Okay, any other changes? Into the middle of the screen, open my project. Like clicking on my UI, basically. I feel like if you use a computer long enough, you will make that mistake. You've probably all done it. Yeah, this looks good. Good. It's a little concerning that the treasure room is never used. Oh my God, did it seriously break again? Oh, come on. There's something I'm doing that's causing this to happen. Yeah, that's really frustrating. Diff window, maybe? I did this. I clicked jump to source. Yeah, something weird is happening. Yeah, it doesn't work from in here either. Maybe it's trying to use it in here, messes it up for something else. That's possible. Oh man, all right, fine, let's restart this again. Yeah, maybe I do need to invalidate the cache. I guess we'll try that if it fails again. In my hypothetical earlier, I was like, oh yeah, 4 days from now, this will happen again. It happened 4 minutes in the future. So figure out which, oh, whoops. Figure out next room to use. This is not, no, this is correct. I guess we don't need to use the treasure room because we only have one room after that. So we'll eventually have another if statement here for the boss room and then a portal room, which I'm not adding the portal room yet. And then that'll teleport you out to the next game. Or maybe not, actually. No, maybe you... I wanted you to get back to the Architect's Realm at some point. Day of the Arcade. Oh, cool. Yeah, that sounds like fun. I hope you all enjoy this precious remaining time. All right, so we should just be able to go to all the different rooms. Let's go try this out. So that's room 1. We will go to room 2. And we'll go from here to the treasure room. Let's speed this up. Go to the treasure room and then the boss room. Kill player. Go to boss room directly. Good. Kill player and try it from over here. Just making sure nothing's wrong with this cheat. Yeah, that's fine. Well, if anything is ever wrong with a cheat, it doesn't really matter because they're not for players. So at worst, they bother us as developers. So overall code shouldn't have changed very much. Ooh, why is that there? Room number 2. I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like that. Room number should be room number dot room 1. This is the variant. No, this is the room number. What am I talking about? Room number. There we go. And then where is this used in here? Right there. That's fine. And over here we change this too. Now these do need, I think if you put this in here, it'll, no, it works. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna explicitly write these out. I just think it's gonna be more obvious that these are in sequence and need to stay that way. All right, so the final review, hopefully. I expected this to just be a totally mechanical change. It didn't turn out to be. And the question now is, did it still save me some time? Who knows? I'm guessing it took about the same amount of time. All right, convert room number into an enumeration. I didn't like the idea of having random constants everywhere. Okay, done with that. So, yeah, out of curiosity, if I go click download now and pay, what's the... Nothing stops you from paying 1 penny? Does this cost itch money? Just curious. Because literally all I want to use is that 1 health bar. I don't even think I should use this asset pack if that's all I'm going to use it at all. Yeah, I should probably just like... I should probably just take it from some other asset pack I've already purchased. Even if it doesn't totally fit. Or just draw a rectangle. I don't know yet. I should probably just use a texture, or yeah, texture progress bar. And not do anything too custom for this. We need your life bar too, though. I never did that. I have just the word health showing at the top, don't I? Yeah, I have the word health showing at the top. Whoops. Hey, Tebow, thanks for the raid. Welcome in, everybody. We're unfortunately sort of toward the end of the stream, but I'll stream for a little bit longer at least. I'll give you a shout out. Yeah. Yeah, I hope you had a good time. Hope you had a good stream. We're working on a game called Stuck in a Broken Tutorial. I'll show this off over here. So it's really like an anthology of games. And we're... we have a logo now, although I have not put this on the title screen yet. And it's not totally finished. But look at this. It's going to be this one. But yeah, I'm very, very happy with this. This is Quickie Joe's work. Starving, need to go, want to say hi? Oh yeah, hi, take care, get some good food. Thank you again. Yeah, so this is the game. There's the character you saw from the logo. But yeah, you start out on this platformer, you work your way through this, it teaches you some basic stuff about the platformer game, but you don't stay in the platformer for very long. And you eventually get to this like massive jump that you're supposed to make over here that is impossible. So you try making this jump, you can't, you fall. And you'll work your way through the games in this fashion. You'll start in a game that appears to be one thing, but probably isn't really that thing. And the game that we've been working on most recently has been the top-down shooter. So yeah, you eventually make your way over to here. I'll speed this up. This character meets you, banishes you from the game. And you end up in a farming game. So when you're done with this game, let's skip to this. You go to the community center. And toggle the switch. They toggle their switch. You get a portal. You walk in. And you're in the third game of the series now, which is this top-down shooter. So you can collect power-ups. Whoop, that's not right. That's not right at all. Did I break this? Whoops. Diff last commit. Room number +1. That's no longer there. Variant letter. I think this should still probably be +1. Whoops, I said =1. Let's try that and see what happens. Did I make the title card myself? No, that was Quickie Joe. He's the main artist for this. An 8 and 9. Is it okay to rent your brain for a while so I can make some smooth code and just say yes? This is like a Black Mirror episode. What am I really giving up here? All right, no, this is still failing. Room 2a.tscn. What is actually wrong here? Oh, room 2a. Oh, whoops. Oh, because that's not... Okay, I understand. That is not how that was supposed to work. Yeah, the +1 that I just added. This gets serialized differently from how I thought. I think it'll work now. I don't know. Room 2B. Okay, so we just delete this. And now it's fixed. Yeah. Yeah, I was serializing that as a string. Yep, okay, cool. So now we're in room 1B. Yeah, so anyway, as I was saying, this is a top-down shooter. You collect power-ups, you destroy monsters, you work your way through these dungeon rooms. They'll eventually look more like actual rooms, not like gray blank spaces. And then we just added the boss today. We're about to go get to. So the idea here is that... Oh, let me get to the door. The idea here is that there are going to be too many enemies for you to kill them all unless you're powerful enough. But once you start killing them, you'll get lots and lots of power-ups. Well, I guess if we just let them collect up for a little bit. Yeah. Then we can start blasting them. And that way you get very, very powerful in this room. And every luck power-up gives you even more power-ups. So you should eventually just be in invincible, probably. Shooting super fast, doing a ton of damage. And then, yeah, able to, like, take out the boss. Probably need to make sure your luck stack is up right now. Yeah. In fact, maybe they should summon more summoners? They are kind of stuck in the corner there. Yeah, I'll need to do some balance testing. Well, let's go check this in now. I fixed just this problem, right? Yeah. Amend the last commit. Done. All right, so I want to add life bars. I need to add life bars for both the player and the boss. Add life bars. Player life bar. Boss life bar. It can take up as much horizontal space as possible. Okay. Customizing monster damage. Prevent upgrades from dropping if they wouldn't do anything. It may be worth changing how much benefit you get from each upgrade. Right now, it's a static, or it's a constant number that we decrease your cooldown by, which means later upgrades feel more effective than initial ones. Balance stats changes. I guess let's just go change the treasure room right now. It's called the treasure room, but it's got 4 crates in it. Should probably have more than 4. And they should be positioned at like in good enough spots. I don't really want to manually put down all the crates, but we will eventually theme the room, so maybe I should manually put them down. But it'd be nice to just have like a 4x4 section. I wonder how hard it'd be to make them on the fly. Base room. Supply crate. Because I never create them before this, right? We do initialize them here. Do we have in it for the treasure room? The treasure room doesn't have its own script. We could give it its own script. Have it create like 16 supply crates. Actually, I guess it would do that in ready. So we wouldn't even really need to do anything special. Yeah, let's do that. I like that idea. Oh, wait, it has a script. What is the script? Base room. Okay, we just need to make a new script then. Attach. This is in scenes. I want it to be over here. Treasure room. Done. Create. All right, so its ready function is going to call into the base ready first. And then we're going to add in a bunch of... Oh, we don't have the supply crate node. Where is that? Here it is. This could be saved as a protected thing. Now I don't need to fetch it from the treasure room. Protected node 2D supply crate node. Get private set. And then in ready, we'll go set this thing. Done. Then go change this. And then in ready, we will just add this thing now. So 4 in I equals 0. Actually, how about this? Let's just do like row equals 0. Row is less than... How many of these do we want? 16? 16 too many? No, I think 16 is pretty good. Wait, my upgrade gives 20 of each power up, so we're giving 100? So 16 is kind of minimal compared to that. All right, let's do it this way. Int I equals 0, I is less than... Let's just start at 16. All right, so int num upgrades 16, int num rows equals 4. All right, number of upgrades. So we want to instantiate in a new supply crate. Instantiate. Yep. All right, this should be the resource cache. We load the supply crate scene, res, scenes, sub games. It's sub games, right? Yeah. Top down shooter. Supply crate. There we go. Okay. And then we position it. Can't resolve. Oh, this doesn't inherit from base room. Okay, good. And yeah, then position it. So supply crate dot global position equals... where's the start position going to be? Just make something up for right now. Start position equals new 50-50. Doesn't need to be anywhere in particular. We could make a node in the scene and then do it based on that. So there's going to be, and then the spacing that we need. So constant, this should all be const. Spacing 16, sure. So start position plus new vector 2. Spacing, no, let's just do vector 2 dot right times spacing times I. So in row equals, yeah, nice, good. So this is actually times column. and plus vector 2 dot down times spacing times row. And then supply crate dot reset global physics interpolation, and then we're good. All right, let's go try that. So now I want to change the top-down shooter cheats. So then instead of going to the boss room, we go to the treasure room. Oh, then we need the treasure room scene path though, right? Let's just change this to treasure room. Let's try it out. So now we're going to hopefully see 16 crates in a 4x4 square in this room. This failed. Presumably because... Oh, because we're casting the wrong thing? Yeah, my bad. There. All right, well, that was a very stupid mistake. Also very minor. All right, nice. And we still have the 4 that we added in manually. I'll go delete those 4. Let's make sure that these crates can still break open. Yep. Now, as I upgrade my power, this should go faster and faster. Oh, you can hit 2 at once. Huh. I did not know that. All right, nice. Okay, so the spacing needs to be bigger, maybe like 40. And then in terms of the start position, I actually kind of want to base this on the room itself. So we have a get camera bounds. Var bounds equals this. And the start position is going to be bounds.position plus bounds.size divided by 2. But then we're not centering these, and we would need to. So we would need to take into account, I guess, like minus new vector 2 spacing times 2, I think. I don't know. Is that right? I don't think that's right. I think it's like 1.5. It's probably slightly vertically off center now. Yeah, so I subtracted too much. I think it is supposed to be 1.5. Oh, whoops. It's supposed to have an F at the end. All right, does that look better? No. Wait, so the reason it should be 1.5 is because there are 3 spacings divided by 2, but because we're taking the middle of the room. No, we need the crate size as well. I don't know the crate size. The jar room? Are you talking about the one in the castle? Yeah, you're talking about the one in the castle, right? Actually, I think we have a graphic that could potentially work for that. Maybe we make them barrels in here. Because I've been using the crate graphic. Yeah, we have actually a bunch of different kinds of crates. We could even use those too. And then we have some barrels. The barrels don't really look like they're getting destroyed too much, though. They just look like they are destroyed. Whereas the crate, at least, this graphic looks like it leads into this graphic, which then looks like it's getting destroyed. We can only kind of make that work with some of these other ones. So I might not do anything about that. But yeah, this is still very slightly off center. And yeah, I think the problem is we need to know the size of the crate graphic. Down times spacing times row. Also, there's technically should be num rows like divided by 2, but not actually. I don't know. Maybe we just leave it for now. They're just slightly off. Also probably want them a little bit more into the room. And this should technically be here. And we don't, I mean, the number of columns is the same. But in this particular case, I actually don't want to subtract this at all. I want to say possible loss of fraction. I'm probably just going to say this is good enough. Yeah, I think it's fine. So if you have a bunch of upgrades already, breaking these is not so bad. Ideally, you get power-ups during this that allow you to break these faster. So if you just get luck, and if you just get power and fire, sorry, luck, defense, and movement speed, it's not going to help you destroy them any faster. Yeah, so now I was going to enter this room no matter what. I can never leave this. Actually, it is kind of funny. I feel like what seems like a good thing, if you just keep going into more and more of these rooms, now you're trapped here, just getting upgrades forever. All right, let's change that. I talked to my wife about, would you play Ocarina of Time if I got the new one? She's like, no, I'm not that interested. So I don't think I'm going to buy it. If she were to play, I'd probably be like, well, at least I get to experience it from a new perspective now. She played Wind Waker and she played Link's Awakening, the remakes of both of those. And I think she liked them both. So I'm actually not totally sure why she doesn't want to play Ocarina of Time. But if she doesn't want to, I'm not going to get it. And I don't think it's going to be cheap anyway. I expect it to be like $70 or something. There is some amount of money that I would pay to play that game. Probably like $5. I'm not saying that's how much it's worth, but that's... I think I could just watch someone play for free and probably get the same enjoyment. Yeah, this looks good. Improve treasure room. There are now 16 crates instead of just 4. Let's push this since I haven't done that in forever. Yeah, I have a lot of commits. Okay, so this is fixed. This is pretty much done. This is done. Yeah, we've gotten quite a lot finished here. I think that the next couple days of stream time should probably be devoted to just cleaning this game up. My plan was for the next checkpoint to be playtestable by the end of July. So that gives us how many business weeks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 business weeks plus whatever's left for this one. If I were to roughly divide these up, I'd say top-down shooter should probably be like rest of this week. Then the loot box game should probably be... I don't think it's going to take as long to make because it's just UI with no real purpose. But anyway, let's say 2 weeks. And then the next one is supposed to be the Dungeon Racer game. I think that's a very, very difficult game idea to make. But anyway, let's say that took 2 weeks as well. That would give us, what, like 1 week? 1 or 2, I don't remember. I don't remember the count. 1 to 2 weeks to polish, make music, play test, or like balance test, fun test. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. I think it's still doable. But the scope of even just this game kind of made me think it'd be nice to tackle a smaller game afterward. Also, I wanted to add the Architect's Realm in again. I never actually answered the question of how you get there. You're always supposed to enter the Architect's Realm through a glitch. The glitch here could be, this could be kind of interesting. I'll write this down at least. Maybe there are so many summons that it pushes you out of bounds and you can walk into the Architect's Realm. That'd be interesting. I gotta be careful about this though. I gotta make sure the pacing makes sense. Hold off on doing this until the pacing is clearer from playtesting. All right, so I think we are going to be sort of tight on time because there's a lot left to do. But yeah, this will start looking better and better. Okay, so added a boss to the top-down shooter. And what else do we do today? You must go busto. Treasure room, cheat, reward default value, extension, create monster, boss monster. Anything else here? I mean, this is pretty good for, what was it, 3 hours? Yeah, this isn't bad. Made some minor improvements to the game as well. Yeah, I'll just leave it at the first thing. I don't think we need this. So I think the goal for tomorrow should be to wrap up the rest of the core gameplay. We already have journal on here. Goal for today, wrap up the rest of the core gameplay. So life bars. What else do we need? The tutorial text. Bug fixes. Yeah. And then the exiting the game. I originally wanted the player to go to the Architect's Realm. Make sure we still want to do that and then figure out how we do it. Maybe they glitch through the wall. It can't always be the glitch through a wall though. Yeah, it shouldn't always be that you glitch through a wall. I mean, how else though? You have to get from a game to somewhere you shouldn't be. So there's some means of locomotion needs to get you there. Or it's a portal or something. But portals are always to get you between games. I guess it could always be that you go out of bounds. It just feels uncreative. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's it for today. This is pretty productive. Went well. I gotta get some food. And I won't be back to stream again today, but I should be back tomorrow. Who shall we raid? I raided some new people the last couple times, I think. Except for, well, Billy was yesterday. Let's raid... I haven't raided Cavino in a while. Let's raid Cavino. Thanks, Tin Bears. And yeah, thank you all for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks to those who raided. I am feeling pretty good, yeah. All right, let's all say hi to Cavino. Everybody have a good rest of your day. I shall see you tomorrow. Goodbye.